Okay, boys and girls, this is our lesson on area parallelograms and trapezoids. Okay, so for the first part, we have to draw and label the height. So I'm going to do one of them for you. So what I would do is find where the base is, because remember the base is always part of the shape. And it's a little tricky unless you turn your paper. So I would definitely turn your paper. And if you turn your paper, like I just did, you'll see that the base is there. And then for the height, what I tend to do is, usually if I can, I'm going to go to the inside corner, the one that's like where B is, and bring it straight down. And you have a right angle there, and that's going to be your height. So right there would be the height. I'm going to turn that and move on to another one. Okay, so at the bottom here, for each of these, what you're going to do is label a base and a height. So let's do number 4. Number 4 is a little tricky. So I'm going to turn number 4, and I want to put the base down here. And you don't have to make the base, I just am. Now, what I'm going to do is, another way of doing these is you could draw the height on the outside. So I'm going to draw a straight line, even though I know we should be doing a dotted line. It's just easier to see. Let me make it a little bigger. So if I go straight down, and then the dotted line would look like this. I'm going to have to make it a straight line. It doesn't look that great on the iPad. And that would be the height over here. So the base is really this part. Let's make it blue. This part's the base. The height is really right here. Okay, so let's do a couple of these. So at the bottom it says find the area of each parallelogram. So if you remember in class, area parallelogram equals the base times the height. So all I have to do is find the base and the height. And so for the first one, it'd be area equals, the base is 26, times the height, which is 18, and that'll give you the answer. Okay, so those are pretty easy. Okay, trapezoid. So if you remember, trapezoid has 2 bases and a height. So again, what I would do is turn your paper. So let's do the first one. And I'm going to turn it so one of the bases is directly parallel with me, so I could see it a lot better. So the first one I'm going to make, here's base 1, and this is base 2. And then the height, I take the inside corner and I go straight down. So I'm just going to make it in red. And that's going to be the height right there. Okay? Alright, so the 9 and 10 here, you have to have the formula. So the formula for a trapezoid, the area will equal 1/2 the height times base 1 plus base 2. So I'm going to go over 10. Now be careful with 9 because they're trying to trick you on number 9. Number 10, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my information, and the area will equal 1/2 of the base, the height, sorry, which is 11, times 14 plus 18. So what I would do first is add up the bases. So it's going to be area equals 1/2 of 11 times 14 plus 18 is 32. Okay, so for this, what I would do is take half of 32, which is 16, then multiply that by 11. That'll give you the answer. All right, so number 11 is you fill in what you know. So this is a parallelogram, so area equals base times height. So the area of the parallelogram is 207, will equal the base, I don't know, because that's what I'm trying to figure out, and the height is 9. So you should know we have to divide by 9 on both sides, and that'll give you the answer. Okay, now I'm going to go over homework for tomorrow, even though we didn't get it. You'll get this tomorrow. So we'll skip 12. Let's look at 13. So 13. Okay, so for this one, you need to remember the formula. So the formula of the trapezoid is 1/2 height times b1 plus b2. So fill in what you know. Area equals that. So the area I know is 108 equals 1/2. The height I do not know. b1 plus b2, I'll quickly do that. That's 27. So what I would do is take half of 27. So it's 108. You don't have to, but that's just one way. H, I don't want an H there. So half of 27 is 13.5. So it'll be 13.5 H. And then just divide by 13.5 on each side, and that'll give you the answer. Okay, so the last one on this page is same thing. So let's go to 15. So 15, what you're going to need to do is make a coordinate grid, and you're going to make a parallelogram. The only thing is that they do not tell you the last point. So here, what you need to do is make sure that you label the x and y axis, label your coordinates, and so forth. So the last point, you got to look at it very carefully. It's going to be one of the bases. So the one base is going to be the same length as the other base. So when you do that, look carefully, because that will help you. And then when you do your height, just go from one of the inside corners, go straight down to the bottom base, and that'll help you. All right, the bottom one I'm not going to do because all you're doing is graphing out a trapezoid. So let's skip that and go on to number 17. So number 17, what you're going to do is you have to figure out the one base. So this one's a little bit tricky. So this is a trapezoid, so it's 1/2 height times base plus parentheses base 1 plus base 2. So it's going to be 136 is the area equals 1/2. I know what the height is, which is 8, and it's going to be 20 plus b, or b2. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so I'm going to try to solve what I have. So I have 136 equals, what's half of 8 is 4. 20 plus b, or b2. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so you have a choice of what to do here. Your choice is this. You could do distributive property, which is double rainbow, if you remember. Or you could go ahead and divide by 4 to get rid of the 4. Either way works. So if you divide by 4 on this side, you have to do it on the same side of the other side where the 136 is. You could do that, or you could go ahead and multiply out. That's fine too, and then you're going to have to move some numbers around. So whichever way is easier for you, you do. Okay, so the bottom one, you have a trapezoid ABCD, and there's 2 triangles. What we need to do is figure out this triangle right here. So it says ABC. Okay, so basically what you need to do is you need to figure out, I'm trying to make the height here. This is, let me just erase that. You can either make the height on the outside or inside. Let me go back to the inside, it'll be easier. So you need to figure out the height over here. Well, that height's going to help you with the triangle, because that's going to be the height of the triangle. Because if this is the base, here's the height. Okay, so we have to figure out the height of the trapezoid, and that'll help me. So the trapezoid, the area is 312 equals 1/2 the height, which I don't know, b1 plus b2, which is 48. I just did it real quick. So you take half of 48, which is 24h. Now when you divide by 24, that's going to give you the height for the trapezoid, which, if you look at it, it's going to be the height of this triangle. So you got the base and the height, and then you should know how to figure that out. 1/2 base times height, which is the area of the triangle.